How you doing? Welcome to Cooking While Drunk. I'm your drunk, Tony. Sipping on a little bit of gnarly head. Oh, this is really good. I don't think my wife's going to be able to drink any. This is a 2018 Old Vine Zin. I always get that mixed up. I always say Old Zin Vine. Old Vine Zin from the Lodi area. Gnarly head. This is actually really good. Tonight we're going to be making a Bolognese. And I'm going to do it a little differently than what I've ever done before. So this will be my second attempt to recreate this recipe. So I've got a little over about 1.5 pounds of ground beef. This is 80-20. Usually I use 90-10 lean, but I'm doing 80-20 today. And I'm going to do a little slurry. I got 2 tablespoons of water and a 1/4 tablespoon of baking soda. So what this does, baking soda increases the pH balance of the meat. So it will meat will brown better, but also as you slow cook ground beef, any type of ground meat, it tends to get a little coarse, little mealy, little tough and pebbly. So this actually solved it. So I learned this trick from watching America's Test Kitchen. So actually I do this in a couple other recipes as well. Alright, so we just go like that. Hit it with a little bit of pepper, a little bit of salt. And just kind of give that a little bit of a mix. Okay? Just mix it up a little bit. So you're not making anything fancy, so put that to the side. Alright, next up we have a pot here. We're gonna wash our hands. Have my trusty towel. So now we're gonna do the vegetables. I have 1 onion, 1 carrot, and 1 rib of celery, all diced up. I kind of laid it out, and I have 3 cloves of garlic as well. So I kind of laid it all out, make it look nice. You know, so I need my oil. A little bit of canola oil. You can actually do this in butter if you want, but don't forget butter browns. There we go. You just want to do this for about 3 to 5 minutes until the vegetables are nice and soft. So right now, I'm only doing the onions, the carrots, and the celery. I'm going to let these soften for a few minutes, and then I will add the garlic and go on from there. So we're going to let this soften for 3 to 5 minutes, and then we'll be right back. Alright, we're back. I forgot to tell you that after I put the vegetables in, I did put in salt. No pepper, just a little bit of salt. Maybe about half a tablespoon or so. So just letting them get nice and soft. As you can tell, the onions are getting a little translucent, as well as the celery. The carrots still have a little bit of a, not a crunch, but a little bit of a bite to it. So that's pretty much it. Good, right there. So now it's garlic time. So when you use onions, celery, and carrot, I think it's called a sofrito. I don't remember. I know that Trinity is onions, bell pepper, and celery. I think Trinity is what they use in southern cooking. I guess you can say Louisiana, Creole, or Cajun, or one of those. Sofrito is more European. I think Spanish and Italian. Oh, it would have to be Italian if this is a Bolognese and it's Italian. Alright, so next up we have got some garlic. And once you smell garlic, it's done. Move on to the next step, because don't forget, garlic burns easy. When it burns, you will have to start all over from scratch. Trust me, many times have I burned garlic, and I just kept going and cooking, and the dish just got worse and worse and worse. Oh, that smells so good. All right, now that gets nice and fragrant, just grab everything off the sides. Garlic is starting to get a little bit of brown, which is good. Next up, we're going to add this is about, when I say about, it means approximately because I don't quite measure. This is about 2.5 to 3 tablespoons of tomato paste. So instead of adding diced tomatoes, this is just tomato paste, and you're going to let this cook down for a few minutes. It's going to get to like a little rusty brown colored. And this will only take about a minute or two. So to this, we also have, this is 4 cups of beef stock that I simmered for about boiled for about 15-20 minutes till it reduces to about 2 cups, just to concentrate the flavors. I have 1 cup of the very same Zinfandel wine that we're drinking. When you cook with wine, you want to cook with something that you like to drink. So of course, that gave me an excuse to taste it first. But this calls for dry red wine. So dry red wines include a nice Cab, a Merlot, Zin, Cabernet Franc, which I never can find in the store at my affordable price point. So as you can tell, so now you see how it's starting to turn a little rusty brown, the tomato paste is. So all those flavors are blooming really nice. Now we're going to add the beef. And this is where it differs. Usually you would brown the meat. This one you don't. And I really liked it the last time I made this recipe. I saw this, I forget where I saw the recipe. So as I cook and improve things, I pick up little hints and tips. Because I always used to brown my meat. And I think actually someone told me I didn't have to brown it. And then once I learned about the trick with the baking soda, I realized you didn't have to, you can brown it, but you can brown it with the tomato paste, and it just made it so much better. So I also have here a 1/2 cup of Parmesan cheese. This started off as 3/4 cup because I always snack on it, so it gets down to about 1/2 cup. Once it gets to 1/2 cup, I either shred more or I just tell myself I can't eat anymore. And I'm at the point now where I told myself I cannot eat anymore. So this will take a few minutes for it to brown, so you're just going to cook this down until it's no longer pink in the middle. That'll take about 5 to 10 minutes. We'll see that. Alright, as you can see, most of the meat has cooked. Time to deglaze the pan. Red wine. 1 cup of red wine. You're going to pour that in. You're going to let it simmer until most of the wine is evaporated out. This will take about another 5 minutes or so. Not something you want to rush. You just want to let it nice and gently cook out. Kind of like a hard simmer. Not quite a boil, but a hard simmer. And after that, we'll be right back. Told you I can't resist. As you can tell, I shredded some more Parmesan cheese. So, you can see how it nice thickened up a little bit. A lot of the wine has reduced out. We're going to add our beef broth. And then we're going to add our Parmesan cheese. Don't want another bite? No. I can always cut some for myself if I need to. Well, I need to, so. And we're going to let this simmer now for about 30 minutes. And you'll see how nice and thick it gets. Alright, so in about 30 minutes we'll come back. Alright, we're back. So as you can tell, we're about halfway done. We still have about 10-15 minutes left to go. Evaporated quite a bit, it's starting to thicken up. Now it's time to taste test. Good spoon. Needs salt. Needs a good helping of salt. It needs black pepper. And now this is where I add the fresh herbs. So I'm going to add some fresh thyme and fresh oregano. Actually make that dried oregano because I ran out of oregano. And the basil we're going to save for last because I made the basil ribbons. If you don't like that much thyme, you can actually put the whole sprig in. That way you can just pull the sprig out. But I like thyme, so. And we're going to save the basil for the end. So as you can see here, I made little basil ribbons. We're going to save that for the end. We're going to save that for dressing the bowl itself. So once again, we're going to give it another taste test. I think that's good there. Alright, so it's still a little thin, but as it simmers down, it will get nice and thick and delicious. Alright, we'll see you back in about 10 minutes, 10 to 15 minutes. Alright, total time of 30 minutes of simmering and about half a bottle later. As you can see, it's thickened up quite a bit. I'm just going to turn off the heat. So how to serve this? Well, your choice. You can do pasta. I would say like any of the flat ribbon pastas. What is it? Tagliatelles, where they take the fresh pasta and they just kind of cut strips into it. You can do bow ties are a great choice as well. And if you're like us and you're not doing pasta, you can just put it into a bowl and eat it. Or you can take a zucchini, use your spiralizer and make flat ribbons or even pasta noodles out of it, serve it that way. This goes really good with the flat ribbons of zucchini. But today, I'm tired of vegetables, so I'm going to have just a scoop of the meat. Let's have another one. Little sprinkle of some basil ribbons, maybe a little extra. I like basil, so. And a little bit of Parmesan cheese. There we go. And that's it. That's tonight's dish. Like I said, I love basil. That's tonight's dish. This is a quick and easy, well, not necessarily quick, but a really simple bolognese that does not take 3 to 4 hours to simmer. Alright, thank you for watching Cooking While Drunk. You guys have a good night. Stay safe, stay healthy.